Badenoch joins contenders in 2050 net zero pledge.
Yeah, it was a really interesting part of Kemi's pitch to the nation, which I wholeheartedly support, and that is net zero by 2050 is incredibly punishing, especially for the working classes who can least afford to do things like upgrade their boilers, soaring energy bills, and these arbitrary goals that have been set.
But it's more than 25 years away.
Yeah, but you're paying every year until then. Yeah. And that's the point. It's going to be an escalating cost. And so being tied to the zealotry of climate change when the reality is choosing to heat or eat this winter. We're in a heat wave now. We're freezing in the winter.
I do have to correct you to call it the zealotry of climate change. I mean, there is scientific consensus. I mean, climate change is widely... I mean, it's not even debated anymore.
The climate is changing. The point is, what's the government's reaction?
Well, yes, exactly.
To tax the poor is unfair.
That you have to think about your children and your grandchildren, and it can't just be about the short term. Yes,
it can be about the short term if you're freezing to death in the winter because you can't afford to heat your house. And that's the point that Kemi made. Now, it looks like she's rowing back on this because it's gone down quite badly with the head honchos in the party who are, don't forget, it was a manifesto pledge of the Tories to commit to net zero by 2050. Yeah. I think it's ruinous. It's going to wreck the working classes, and we should be excavating shale.
Do you know? I have to say, I say this against myself because I agree with Isabel. Something's got to be done. However, I was sitting yesterday sweltering, and I thought, Britain, UK, British Isles, small area, very, very small area. Why are we beating ourselves up that this is all our fault, that this is happening? It's not our fault. It's China's fault, it's Russia's fault, it's Brazil's fault.
India.
It is India's fault. It is countries far more massive, with bigger, huge populations than us, and yet we think an island of 66 million people is going to turn it all around.
Amen to that, amen.
Well, I do think, forgive me, I know that sounds depressing, but I just sort of thought we are a pimple on the backside of humanity, really, and we're not, but we
That's
are.
The quote of the morning.
we are
a pimple. We should lance that boil.
Well, I mean, I think until China really do step up their game, you know, us washing our yoghurt pots out and turning the heating down to a degree is really not going to be enough to sort this out, is it? But I think it's only by Britain leading that others will follow. So I think there is an argument there that we have to do our bit, but actually it has to be done fairly, doesn't it? And so, as Martin says, you know, you can't punish the working classes for a global issue. It's just not. It's not on.